Once upon a time, in a small rural town, there lived a farmer named Raju. He was proud of his family farm, which had been passed down through generations. His fields were lush, and he took great care of his crops. However, trouble was brewing. Raju was also the director of the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, a position he never expected to hold. Balancing the responsibilities of his job with farming was challenging, but he loved both worlds. Little did he know his two lives were about to collide. One day, the Homeowners Association, HOA, of a nearby suburban community decided they wanted a private runway for their residents. They felt that it would enhance their property values and bring in more affluent buyers. However, they didn't realize they were encroaching on Raju's land. Without consulting Raju, the HOA went ahead and constructed a runway right through the heart of his farm. The heavy machinery tore through his crops, uprooting years of hard work. When Raju discovered this, he was furious. As the FAA Director, Raju sought legal advice. He learned that the HOA had no right to build the runway without his consent. It was a clear violation of land use regulations. But Raju wasn't just going to file a complaint. He wanted to make a statement. Raju organized a town meeting, inviting all residents, including the HOA members. He passionately explained the importance of respecting private property rights and the impact of their actions on local farmers. His heartfelt speech resonated with many. In the end, Raju proposed a compromise. The HOA could have a runway, but it would be built on a different plot of land, away from farmland. To his surprise, the HOA agreed, realizing the community's reputation was at stake. Raju's story became a lesson for everyone in the town about the importance of communication, respect for land, and the power of standing up for what's right. The community came together to help restore Raju's farm, and he continued to thrive as both a farmer and the FAA director, proud of his dual identity. And so, Raju's farm flourished again, a testament to resilience and the strength of community. As time passed, Raju's farm not only recovered, but also became a hub for community gatherings. With the runway debacle behind them, he decided to organize an annual harvest festival. This event would celebrate local agriculture and bring the community closer together. The festival drew in crowds from neighboring towns. Raju showcased his best crops, and local artisans displayed handmade goods. The highlight of the festival was a hot air balloon ride, symbolizing the newfound harmony between aviation and agriculture. However, not everyone was pleased. Some HOA members felt overshadowed by the festival's success and resented Raju's rising popularity. They believed that their privilege granted them a higher status within the community, and they were determined to reclaim that spotlight. One evening, Raju received an anonymous letter that warned him about a potential plan to disrupt the festival. It hinted at sabotage, suggesting that someone might attempt to damage his crops or disrupt the festivities. Concerned but determined, Raju gathered a few trusted friends and local volunteers to help keep an eye on things during the festival. On the day of the festival, excitement filled the air. Children laughed, families picnicked, and local bands played music. Just as the hot air balloon was about to take off, Raju noticed a suspicious figure lurking near the edge of his cornfield. Acting quickly, Raju approached the figure, who turned out to be a disgruntled HOA member named Vikram. Confronted, Vikram revealed his plan to spoil the festival as a protest against Raju's influence. Instead of retaliating, Raju chose to talk. He invited Vikram to join the festivities and share his concerns. To his surprise, Vikram agreed. As they walked through the vibrant crowd, Raju listened to Vikram's frustrations. The conversation turned into a dialogue, and soon other community members joined in. They discussed the importance of collaboration and how they could all benefit from working together. Raju proposed that the HOA could help promote local farmers and even sponsor future events, bridging the gap between the two groups. By the end of the day, Vikram had a change of heart. He even helped Raju with the balloon rides, laughing and chatting with festival goers. The festival was a resounding success, and Raju felt a sense of pride not just for his farm but for his community. Months later, Raju received an award from the town council for his contributions to local agriculture and community spirit. The HOA recognized him as a leader who fostered unity rather than division. Through the runway dilemma, Raju had learned that true leadership was about listening, understanding, and finding common ground. His dual role as a farmer and FAA director had taught him the importance of collaboration in both fields. And so, Raju continued his journey, nurturing his crops and his community, forever a symbol of resilience and harmony in a world that often seemed divided. The runway that once threatened his farm now served as a reminder of the power of communication and the beauty of working together for a brighter future. For Ethan Williams, the hearth wasn't just his property. It was a 150-acre stretch of prime Kansas farmland, a legacy of 3 generations and, perhaps most inconveniently for his neighbors, the personal sanctuary of the Director of the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. The trouble started, as all good HOA stories do, with the roar of an engine that didn't belong. Ethan was home for a rare, quiet weekend, reviewing complex airspace proposals, when a line of industrial equipment, bulldozers, compactors, and dump trucks rumbled straight across his south pasture, cutting a swathe through his 2-foot-high corn stalks. He drove out in his old Ford, his boots kicking up dust as he approached the commotion. Lying across the heart of his farm was a 1,500-foot strip of crushed limestone and graded earth. "A runway! What in the hell is this?" Ethan demanded. "A community amenity, Mr. Williams," declared Brenda Kensington, the HOA president, stepping out from behind a newly erected sign that read, "Kensington Estates Private Airstrip, Member Use Only." Brenda, a woman whose entire personality was built around organizational bylaws and oversized sunglasses, beamed with self-importance. "Amenity?" Ethan felt a deep professional calm settle over the boiling anger in his gut. "Brenda, this is private land. You built a gravel strip through my cornfield without so much as a phone call." "Oh, we sent a memo," she corrected him, waving a hand dismissively. "It was approved by the Aesthetics and Strategic Growth Committee. We have several new members with Cessnas and even a small citation jet. This is simply a shared transportation enhancement under Article 4, subsection B. Besides, your corn was too tall. It was ruining the view." Ethan took a slow, deliberate breath. This wasn't just about trespass anymore. This was about the integrity of the national airspace. "Let me ask you, Brenda," Ethan said, his voice dropping to a dangerous monotone. "Before you started this transportation enhancement, did you file FAA Form 74601, Notice of Proposed Construction or Alteration? Did you secure an airspace compatibility determination? Did a single soul consider the Part 77 imaginary surfaces the FAA uses to protect navigable airspace?" Brenda scoffed. "Oh, stop with your government jargon, Ethan. This is a private community strip. It doesn't need government papers." Ethan reached into his pocket, pulled out his wallet, and flipped it open. He slowly held the crimson leather binder up, displaying his official photo ID with the distinctive blue seal. "It needs my papers, Brenda," he said, his eyes hard. "I'm not just a farmer, and I'm certainly not just an HOA member. I am William Ethan Morgan, Director of the Federal Aviation Administration." Brenda's confident smile evaporated. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. The next 24 hours were less a confrontation and more a clinical execution of federal authority. Ethan made one call, not to a lawyer, but directly to the FAA Enforcement Command in Oklahoma City. Within 3 hours, 2 highly placed aviation safety inspectors, ASIs, were on site, their sedan parked conspicuously next to Brenda's makeshift windsock. A low-flying FAA surveillance helicopter circled the illegal strip, capturing high-resolution photos for evidence. The findings were swift and brutal: unauthorized airstrip operation. The HOA was operating an air facility without the required federal designation, airspace hazard. The strip was in the approach path of a nearby regional hospital's life flight operations. Massive fines. The initial citation for operating an unapproved public use. Airport and willful disregard of safety regulations. Started in the high 6 figures and was directed squarely at the HOA. The final blow came the next morning. It wasn't a plane that landed, but a contracted fleet of heavy-duty machinery brought in under FAA jurisdiction. These machines systematically ripped up the gravel strip, hauling the debris off-site and returning the land to its original state, minus the young corn, Of course, as Ethan drove his restored antique tractor across the newly reclaimed soil, sowing fresh seed where the tarmac had been, he saw Brenda sitting defeatedly on a park bench by the community pool, huddled with her very expensive and very distraught attorney. He merely gave them a brief, polite wave. After all, the FAA Director always ensures the flight path is clear. Flight path is clear.